Good morning and welcome back to CityLine. As you can tell, the fun has already begun. With me are three beautiful powerhouses who are here to talk about downtown to Defiance. So please join me in welcoming Meredith Soniat. You are the Active Transportation Coordinator for our city of Tacoma. Welcome, my dear.
Thank you.
Good to have you here. My God, your skin is just flawless. It's like glass.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
Not to be outdone by Miss Hannah Miller over here, who is the PWI Active Transportation COI. I'm going to find out what these initials mean here in just a second.
I'm happy to tell you more.
Welcome, Miss Hannah.
Thank you.
And welcome back, Miss Mary Tuttle. Hello, my love. You are still the Districtwide Programs Manager for Metro Parks Tacoma. It's good to have you back on the comfy couch.
It's good to be here.
2 weeks in a row. I must have done something really good in my life to get you in front of me for 2 weeks. All right, so Meredith, for those of us who have not experienced this event, and that could probably be our new TPU director, Jackie, who was just in your seat. Could you give us an overview of Downtown Defiance?
Sure. So Downtown to Defiance is an event where we actually close the northbound travel lane on Dock Street, Schuster Parkway, and Ruston Way, all the way from 21st Street Park to Point Ruston. So it's really exciting. This is some footage from the event from last year. And it's just a great opportunity for people to get out and try biking without the chaos of actually having cars conflicting for the same space. So biking, walking, running, skateboarding, scootering, anything you can think of.
Adult trikes.
Out there.
Adult trikes.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. you say this so beautifully. Well, we close this and we close that. She says it like she's just describing a recipe, but to close that much is so hard. I hope that people understand just the work that goes into this so you can carefree ride anything that moves down those areas, because that's always my wish. My wish is that I don't have to go around somebody, but also that if that was me, I'd be safe and I wouldn't have to worry. So thank you for making that safe dream come true. Okay, so Hannah, let's talk about this type of event relates to the active transportation goals of the city and PWI, Puyallup Watershed Initiative. Tell us about this.
Yes, so the Puyallup Watershed Initiative's Active Transportation Community of Interest, that's what COI
COI, there it is
a community-based coalition working to increase access to safe, healthy, and affordable active transportation options. So we want to make it safe and fun and comfortable to walk, bicycle, skateboard, to all of the places you go in your daily life. This event is a great entry point if you've been curious about trying to ride on the road, or you're nervous and you feel like you don't know where to start. This is an incredible event to come and enjoy Tacoma's best asset, the waterfront. I'm not from the region, but every year I find myself wishing I could invite my parents and my grandparents and my brother who has a new baby to come and enjoy this event. It's an event for everybody. The ATCOI, as we call the Puyallup Watershed Initiative's Active Transportation COI, because it is such a long name.
Mary and I are giggling because Metro Parks has so many acronyms. Now we know we're not alone.
Yes. So we also envision a fully connected region with active transportation, with trails and bike lanes and sidewalks that will connect all of our region's cities and towns and destinations. And one of those, the main alignment of that trail network that we envision, will connect Point Defiance Park to Mount Rainier with a 62.5-mile trail. And that includes the Ruston waterfront and the Foss Esplanade. And the city of Tacoma is working now to design that section of trail that will connect those two fantastic active transportation corridors along Schuster Parkway. And so there will be opportunities to learn more about that at this event.
Wow, talk about outstanding sponsorship and partnerships.
Yes.
I mean, you have just answered that right there. That's the goal, and that's what we're doing this year.
And we are so fortunate to be partners. We love this event, and we love working with the city of Tacoma and all of the partners that come out for this event. There are so many, including Metro Parks, so many community partners that make this event happen, and it's really it's energizing to be part of this event.
Isn't it though? I mean, and that's just, consider that your huge thank you, because there it is. Partnerships and sponsorships, boy, people are in, aren't they? So Mary, talk about partnerships, because that's Metro Parks. If they had a middle name, it would be Metro Partnership Parks and the city. So what does Metro Parks have planned for Downtown to Defiance?
Yeah, so we're going to be programming 4 areas within the event, and we'll be looking at Dickman Mill. And for those who've been to the event before, we will have Tacoma Nature Center and also chip-in programs that will be there. And then continuing to move through, we've got Jack Hyde Park. We're going to have some stand-up paddling going on and kayaking. And then as we continue on to Cummings, we'll have art activities and also adaptive bikes. And so you mentioned the trikes earlier. Those are really important for people to be able to try out if they maybe have mobility issues, or even as we age, sometimes that inner ear affects the balance.
Yes.
And to be able to get on something and understand that you can do this at any age. You can get on a bike at any age, or with any mobility, you can get on a bike. This is a good opportunity to try it out. We'll also have bubble soccer like we did last year. This year we will have kid bubbles.
Okay.
And for those parents, for those parents last year who lost their kids upside down in these giant bubbles, we now have kid bubbles. And then continuing on at Point Ruston, we're going to have some opportunity for public input.
I love that. So when you talk about the input for Point Ruston, is it a survey they're going to complete, Mary, or will it be like just a quick one-on-one interview?
So where that place is, they're not just surveying for Point Rust or for Ruston Way. We're also going to be looking at our entire waterfront. So that's everything from Tuttle to Ruston Way to Central Park. There may be even some opportunity to provide input for Dune Peninsula Programming, which is our new park that's going to be opening there. And they're going to be doing interviews, surveys for those who like to be a little bit more involved. There's going to be some coloring and drawing. Ooh. And I think a few other surprises. So we definitely want people to come on down, give that input, help us make these parks and places the best that we can for you.
Absolutely.
That's what we're asking.
Because they are our parks and places, and if we don't use them, we lose them. So you have to be there directing in the sense of your input and what you'd like to see. You mentioned the adult trikes, which we love. You mentioned the new bubbles for kids. What else is new and exciting that you want to share with us, Mary?
Yeah, so at Dickman Mill Park, we're going to have the Fort Nisqually reenactors there. And yes. And how that's relevant is that used to be an old mill site, right? And our original head saw to the mill is going to be restored there. Yeah. And so we're going to have Fort Nisqually reenactors. We're also going to have casting lessons from the Point Defiance Marina, which will happen. And then at Cummings Park, we'll have our giant Jenga, giant checkers, pickleball will also be a feature within this. For people wondering what is pickleball all about, maybe they've never tried it, hop off your bike, pick up a paddle and play a little bit.
I love that. Oh my gosh, the Fort Nisqually. It doesn't get any better than Fort Nisqually. Again, they are the Williamsburg of Western Washington. Those people, I mean, I just sit there in awe about what they know, and they do it because they just love to do it. So yay for Dickman Mill and revitalizing all of that to keep that living history alive. So Meredith, let's talk about who can participate in this event from your point of view, and what is the cost?
Yeah, so the event is open to anybody who wants to come down.
Yay!
So it's an open event to all of Tacoma, our region overall. It's part of the greater network that we're trying to build. This is kind of just an opportunity for people to get out and try to bike and walk on the roadway. It's a really fun experience, and it's free. So that's the best part, is that it's free. We're going to have food trucks and things. So there are things that you could pay for, but overall it's definitely a free event, and we just want to revitalize our waterfront and activate it and give people that experience.
I love that. I love that. So you can just pack your own little lunch, little snacks if you need to, or you can check out one of the great food vendors. So what about those people who aren't participating in this event but want to access the waterfront and those businesses along the way that are closed?
Yes.
Well, at least the streets in front of them are closed.
Right. So only the northbound travel lane is closed. So you can still travel south. And if you look at downtowntodefiance.com, there's a map that has all of the entry points. And those entry points are for whether you're on a bike, walking, or even in a car, and you can travel south from any of those entry points. So you can still get to all the businesses. You can cross the route to actually access the parking lots as well if you are in a vehicle. So
oh, good.
It's just we'll have control there as well to make sure that there's no safety conflicts. So
this is such an amazing event, and the work that goes into it. So this is my last question for all three of you. If you could pick one thing that day to recommend to an individual or a family, what would it be, Meredith?
I think it would have to be, we're going to have some e-bike test rides going on.
Oh!
So I think that would have to be my recommendation. Down at 21st Street Park, we're going to have some local vendors. We also have Lime, which is a bike share company in Seattle. They're going to be testing e-scooters and bikes out there. So I think that would be a fun entry, because a lot of people are scared to ride or scared of the hills to ride bikes in Tacoma. And I think that this is a great opportunity to experience what is an e-bike like, and is biking something that maybe could get me out of my car some days. So
I see e-bikes on my vacation. I always go, those are so cool, but I don't ride them. So maybe I'll hop on one. What about you, Miss Hannah?
I'm torn. I personally am very excited about the casting at Dickman Mill. I've always wanted to learn how to maybe fly fish, and so I personally want to go.
10 and 2, 10 and 2.
But I'm also really excited. I believe there's going to be a pop-up skateboard park under the overpass. Diaz Landing.
Diaz Park.
Diaz Park. And Alchemy Skateboarding is going to be there, building a temporary skate park, and folks can give it a try. I think they often provide skateboards, so if you don't have one, then it's a great time to give it a try.
Bring your camera, great people watching there.
Yes.
All right. And Miss Mary, programs are you, so what are you going to pick?
Well, it's interesting. I'm not actually going to pick a program. I'm going to pick a part of the route. So to have Schuster closed, every year we do this event, I make it a point to get out of where, to go from Dickman Mill to Thea's, and so being able to go to the skateboarding and the e-bikes, but just getting off your bike or even walking or running and standing at the top of Schuster and being able to look at what is in front of you there, because we drive by it so often in a car, but your perspective is different.
Yes.
And that is absolutely, that area is probably one of my favorites, because we don't get to do it. So it's like we're doing something naughty, but no, it's approved. So
it's like being in the museum after hours.
Right.
I love
Right.
that.
Yeah.
All of you, thank you so much for being here today, and thank you for the planning of this, the 24/7, 365, looking at this and making this a better and better event for our citizens. And thank you to your teams, the sponsors, and your partnerships. You guys just hit it out of the park, so thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My pleasure. When we come back, we will have Metropolitan Development Council here to talk about their upcoming Share Breakfast. You don't want to miss that. We'll be right back.